Can't see. Let's see if we get anybody on here. She probably. Can I hear it? Hey, Tori. Hello.
Waiting just for a few more people to get on to start the show.
So I'm just waiting a few more minutes. I have my children joining me here. My little generic music for fun. How's everybody doing? All right. I'm just waiting for a few more people. See if they chime in. I see
Hi.
Pastor Sappho,
Hey,
Mother
how you
Van
doing?
Zant. Hello.
Hey.
Then we're going to talk about choirs, community choirs. Hey, Sister
Community
Gail.
choirs.
Community choirs. Back in the day,
Oh.
you know about Sunshine Band. You might know a lot. Sunshine Band and the relevance of the church and the choirs and the singing, choir robes. You know how choirs used to march in every Sunday with their robes on. Hey, here's Mita.
Hey, God,
Hey,
Mom.
First Lady
Hey,
Paul.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good evening.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I was challenged to do this, so I'm just giving it a try. Dialogue with Dr. Gena L. Ross. So your comments are freely welcomed. You're free to express yourself. It's all about just talking and dialoguing together. And so, Mita, First Lady Paul. Remember those days when we were 12 years old and we were in the Minnesota State Choir, and the choir just kept us going, and we take all those fun trips. We go to Des Moines and everywhere in the Midwest Music Conference, and they would tell us at the age of 12 if we weren't saved, we had to act like it because there was a certain way we had to act and represent. You remember those days? Hey, Travis Brown, how's it going? Good. So, that's what I wanted to talk about. No, the community choirs, like I said. I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and music is really great in Minneapolis. We had the Minnesota Church of God in Christ State Choir. We had Excelsior Choir. That was a community choir. The director was Bobby Joe Champion. We had James Greer and Company, Minneapolis Gospel Sound. Kimberly Brown had Sounds of Blackness and the Minnesota Mass Choir. And so we had all these choirs that would get together and sing all the time, and it would keep the young people in church and just keep us all excited and keep us refreshed and renewed, because every choir concert musical always ended in prayer and altar call. We used to have Crystal Rucker come up. This was back in the early 80s, and she was saying James Moore, just so many people, and it just blessed us so much. And now it seems like concerts are a little bit different, and choirs aren't exactly the same as they used to be. But I just wanted to go back down memory lane and see how everybody else felt. Anybody want to chime in?
Yeah, Darriell, so she's a all-state concert choir, ones and district and everything like that. She must have something to say about choir.
I mean, it's different.
No, it's not, because you grew up in the Sunshine Band.
You grew up in the Sunshine
The
Band
lead
too.
singer.
You was the lead singer too.
Okay, let me get on both of them. When they first started the Sunshine Band, they were 2 and 3 years old, and they were kind of shy in the Minneapolis Sunshine Band. But when we moved to the Missouri area, Sister Cecily Henderson and her mother, Sister Jean Henderson, gave them their first solo.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, they had a duet, and Miss Butter here, she cried and cried because she was scared to sing. She did not want to get the mic. And then Mr. Areyon here was just like super loud and just happy to have the mic. And it was funny.
Because I was scared.
Yeah, you were kind of shy and
You
scared.
were shook, you were shush.
The Lord came.
So, but Sunshine Band has played an intricate part in their life. So I think that all parents should probably put their children in Sunshine Band and let them get that experience, because besides just singing songs, they're learning about Jesus, and you know, they all look forward to those snacks that Sister Cecily Henderson would give them. But Sister Cecily would work the children so hard, they would have all their notes in sync. I mean, that they did a live recording. They were actually a Stellar, weren't you guys Stellar Award
nominated
nominee back in 2000 or something like that?
2013 maybe.
13.
Oh, 2013. Yeah, but it's a great experience, and I just thank God for that. And when I was growing up, we always wore choir robes. We would march in with our choir robes. We were not allowed to even come in sanctuary without having, if you had on pants or anything, you had to put on a choir robe. It just was not allowed. But we had our choir robes, and we would sing to the glory of God. We sang out of the anointing. Shut up. He's clowning. But, yeah, it was always just something great. And trying to read the comments.
Have any of y'all ever been in a community choir or the church choir? Comment below your experiences.
J.C. Thompson is watching. Justin Bay, hey, he's one of my students. He graduated. Congratulations to you again. But Philip Brown, hey, he's
write
a
some of your
singer.
memories about being in the choir in church or whatever.
At
What do
Boone
you
Tabernacle,
remember?
Philip Brown.
Anybody, everybody.
And you sang with what group? What group
The
was that?
youth
he
choir.
sings with?
Hi,
the professional
bestie.
one.
Who's in there?
Philip Brown. What group did
Sabrina.
he sing with? I forgot the name of it, but it's a good group. Hey, Sabrina. So, just talking about choirs, choir robes. Preachers used to always wear their robe when they were, their clergy robe.
They still do it though.
Some do and some don't. So, what do you think as young people with people that wear? Someone said them robes are extremely hot.
Yeah, them robes are hot.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon.
We had to wear our church robe. Well, I'm in the concert choir, but we be going to churches and singing. When we have to wear them robes with in churches that ain't got no AC, listen.
But don't you think that the robes keep you unified?
I was excited to get my other uniform.
Bishop Brandon. Bishop Brandon.
No, feel free to comment. This is just dialogue. It's open. It's very informal, not formal at all. Anybody have anything to say? I don't want to do all the talking. I want someone to talk back to me. This is just trying this out.
Comment your memories.
Yeah. What are your memories? I mean, I remember when I was in the Sunshine Band, I was a different one. My mother would make me sing.
Why should we keep the robes, Mr.
Keep the
Brandon,
robes.
Mr. Griffin? Why should we keep the robes? Tell us why.
While he's typing in why, I would tell you, when I was in the Sunshine Band, I was one of those ones that my mother, she made me get up there and sing. I didn't want to. So I'd rather just take my whooping and stand there, and that's what I would get. But saying,
That's
you have
so
a lighter
true.
uniform
That's
and still
true too.
look unified.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's true. That is true. Angela Denise Ross, very true. What do you think about the community choirs with different people coming together, and long as we're singing on one accord to lift up the glory of God? Looks good when everyone is on one accord and not on 20 colors. What do you mean, Brandon? Like the 20 pastel colors?
When they
or
say,
just all colors?
When they say wear red top, black
Oh,
bottoms,
Sister
and you have
Rhonda Foster. She was
many...
my favorite soprano in the Minnesota State Choir. You were always the role model for the soprano section. You and First Lady Parthia Hill. Those were the days. That was so much fun. Let's see, Pastor Sappho said, I grew up when we was California First Jurisdiction. We had the Hawkins. Oh, I know you had a good choir.
All colors.
I know that was great. Brandon said all colors. Hello, Angela Denise Ross. No, I miss those days. I miss my Minnesota days with the choir. I really do. Oh, you said you have people like Darriell Cooley. Oh, so you guys had some real good singing. You hated when we had to wear black and white. Why? Because you look like an usher. Yeah. Hey, Shane. Shane's on. Shane Kyrot.
What's up,
That's
Shane?
Shane.
Ain't seen in a minute.
Yeah, that black and white. That just looked like you were on the usher board. And the bishops should keep their robes as well.
Facts.
Yeah, they should. Why do you say that, Brandon? Why do you think the bishops should keep their robes?
Bishop.
I mean, what do you think about some preachers that preach in jeans and a t-shirt, like it's TNT Day on a Sunday?
That's weird. That's really weird.
Oh, let's see. One of my students, he said he's happy to see you again. I'm currently part of my church choir member. press it.
That's what I seen you too.
I said, Angela, you said you grew up cogent? Yes.
I love it.
You have a low voice, your throat's hurt all the time?
That means you're not singing from the diaphragm. If you singing from the throat, you singing wrong.
Well, help him.
I just told him.
Give him an example.
You sing from your diaphragm. If you pay attention to biology class, you know where your diaphragm is. It's down below. And if you should feel your stomach moving when you're singing. That's how you know you're singing from your diaphragm. If you're singing from your throat, you're not singing it right. You're gonna ruin your vocal cords.
Got that, Justin Bay. Pastor Sappho, y'all had crushed velvet ties and powder blue shirts and black pants.
Now that's what you call a uniform.
Another one said they had it black and white in the choir. And Brandon said not jeans and t-shirt. Yeah. They have more oil in their robes. Talking about the bishops and the preachers. Tell me some more. Can you expound on this oil? Is it really in what they have on? Or, well, we're talking about different things. Choir robes, bishops. It's just open dialect.
He said
not jeans. Oh, I'm sorry.
Anybody ever usher and had to wear the white gloves? Because y'all talking about black and white.
You were a junior usher.
I was junior usher, but we ain't wear black and white. We stopped there for a good minute.
He said, "No, ma'am, I'm just playing now." Yeah, I have these.
Hello, Miss Anita.
That is, I believe, Sister Body that used to go to Emmanuel Tabernacle with us. You guys were little, so you probably don't remember her. But no, I was just chiming in, just having a few minutes of dialogue. Nothing spectacular, but thank you for tuning in. I'm not going to take up anyone else's time. I know some people have Bible study. You were a junior.
Yeah, we wore the polo. We wore the navy. No, we wore the light baby blue polo shirts, and then we had to wear navy blue bottoms. We looked like we was going to a charter school or something, or a private school.
The best thing about that was the snacks.
Yeah,
afterwards.
we had snacks afterwards, and we had candy during. We weren't supposed to.
But the good thing is you all were trained properly. The way I raised you guys, you were raised and trained to do anything in the church. No exempt, so you can never say I can't do that, because that's not an option.
Come back in the camera, Darriell. Kind of high.
B, remember the UNAC choir? I do remember the UNAC choir. I still have some of those records because my mother gave them to me. I have the 1975 UNAC choir record. Actually, I went to the first UNAC. I went to the first UNAC in 1975. It was in Dallas, Texas. We went with the church. It was a good experience. Hello, Evangelist Lucy Smith-Williams, doctor all the way from Minneapolis, Minnesota. How are you doing?
You had the church sale. Y'all had an official uniform.
Yeah, church sale.
Official business.
We're just talking about uniforms. Yes, Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. Yes, I remember those days. And Mr. Clean and all the musicals. I know. Does anyone want to come on the camera?
Mm-hmm. Have a good discussion. Expand.
Those were the days, though, Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. And those musicals were just filled with high spirit and anointing. Just wonderful. But, again, I guess I'm going to sign off. You two want to say anything about back in your day? You're not that old, but...
Hello, guys. I'm 20 years old, and choir is fun.
She spent a lot of time in Sunshine Band.
Sunshine Band was fun. It was really fun. I was soprano. I'm an alto now, but I can sing soprano too if I need to. I still am in choir. I'll always be in choir, even when I'm old.
You know, it's so funny, and I said I was getting ready to go, but I am. But I'm just reminiscing down memory lane just one more time. Growing up, now these two and my oldest son, I always thought that we went to church a lot, but when I was growing up, we stayed in church, and we wouldn't get out of church until like 3 o'clock on Sunday, and then go back to YPWW at 6 o'clock and not get out of church maybe till 10 o'clock at night, and Friday nights we wouldn't get out of church till late, and we always had... shut-ins. We spent a lot of time in church, and nowadays young people think that just going to church for an hour or hour and a half is too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. But sometimes the bishops just be talking too much, you know. I mean, pastors just in general just be overdoing it and just like it's not really interesting and just boring. You know, I like, for instance, the aim or the convocation. Bishop, you probably know. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was fun. I had a great time, and you know, I didn't mind. You know, I came back at like 2:00 in the morning.
Oh, you talking about a name?
Yeah, I mean, like
okay.
it was that good of a service. Like if it's good,
yeah,
you won't even care about the time. You know what I'm saying?
When it's good, the time flies by. You be like, oh wow.
Next thing you
know, it's 3:00 in the morning. You're like, oh wow.
But when the
church,
Pastor Sapp said no.
When the church is dry and just boring and the old hymns, like no, you know.
Pastor Sapp said stop.
It's real dialogue. I mean, you gotta keep it a stack though. It's not necessarily.
I would say during AIM last year when we were in Indianapolis, these two did go to Revival Fire, and they came back just like really enthused and excited. They had a great time, and I know Brandon, you were with them, and it was good as a mother to see your children come in from church and excited and on fire for the Lord, and I just hope that y'all keep it. But I'm signing off. I'm getting off. Hey Tish, I'm glad you chimed in.
Make it
said
alive.
Make it alive.
Make it alive. Yeah, you can make it alive. But you know, one person's efforts can only go so far. And that's just in general. I love going to church. Just certain churches I just don't like going to, and that's just that.
Hey, Sister Kimberly Brown. She has a new CD coming out. Can you bring her on the screen?
She doesn't want to be. It doesn't.
Huh?
She doesn't want to. It's not on there.
It's
I asked the young people, how do you think the church will be when you grow up, or what?
No, but how do you bring them on the screen?
It has to have an option there.
Oh, then I should have used my phone.
No, it's her settings. She don't want to.
If you change your settings, I can bring you on the screen.
Peanut, Pastor was saying, how do you think the church will be when you grow up? Or what are you going to do when you become a leader? Well, I'm already a leader, so it just...
Put your face in.
My face is in it.
Yeah.
So, well, considering I'm already a leader, it's all about the house. The church is the people. So, I don't know. What do you mean? Like, how's it going to be? Are you talking about the church as in the Church of God in Christ, the church that you currently go to, or you just mean as a whole? As in Christianity. What can you elaborate on that?
I'm still trying to see how to bring her on.
It's on her end. I'm talking about when you become pastors and missionaries and presidents of the trustee board. Peanut?
No comment.
Pastors, president of the trustee board.
You used to want to be a pastor. You used to call yourself Pastor Peanut, walk around with that big old Bible and that cross. And then you would backslide, and then you say.
What do you have to say about that, Areyon?
No comment.
Oh, okay. What do you have to say, Mother?
Talking about when you become pastors, missionaries, president of the trustee board.
Hi, Sister Jamie.
He's talking to y'all.
No, I'm saying, what do you think about that? What he has to say too.
Well, I'll never be a pastor because I'm a woman. So.
Okay, missionary. You're a missionary. So you're currently a missionary. So evangelist missionary to be correct, right?
That is correct.
All right. So what do you think?
What I think about what?
The church of tomorrow. I'm concerned about the church in the future.
Oh, I'm concerned about it too. If we don't teach Jesus, preach Jesus, I'm afraid for this future. I'm afraid for the future.
People want some real dialogue. I feel you're concerned. Why are you concerned about the future church? I just want to hear your thoughts and concerns, and I just want to see what you're thinking, and I just want to have something to think about. So please, give me more. Give me more.
Hey, Sister Janie. Are you typing, Pastor Sappho?
He probably is. Gotta give it time. It's
Tanisha. How you doing?
Hello. Hi. She can really sing.
Yeah, she's a good singer.
The young people don't want to hear about Jesus. They think you judging them. So what do you got to say about that? The young people don't. Peanut, what do you got to say about this?
No comment.
No.
No, because if I can't say what I was going to say without somebody harping on me, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, that's a prime example right there. Well, y'all don't want a true dialect.
I'm going to keep it real.
Okay. Hi! How you doing? The young people, how do y'all people, live viewers, the comments said the young people don't want to hear about Jesus. They think they judge them. Why do you think that's a thing?
Why do you think you was just being judged? I mean, there's a difference of being respectful and keeping it real.
You can be respectful, but if people don't respect your opinions, then they come off as judgmental.
I was just keeping it real.
I understand.
My point of view, you know?
Right, yeah.
I'm giving examples, but, you know, it is what it is. That's
Can you bring Kimberly Brown on the camera?
She don't.
She said she thought no. She's trying.
She's trying. Okay,
yeah.
She got to get off the live and get back on.
She just did that.
Okay, but it didn't show that she got back on, so she need to get off of the live and try it again. Yeah. Exit the live.
Butter said exit the live, Sister Kimberly Brown, and log back on again. The young people don't want to hear about Jesus.
I think your generation too sensitive. Wait. Okay, so I halfway agree with you. I think that's true, but I also think. No. I think everybody can be too sensitive. Because when you don't hear stuff you don't like, then you talking about our generation needs help. But so I feel like it's a 50-50. Everybody too sensitive, if you want to be real. Hi, she's still here. Can you exit out? Hey, Miss Brown. Can you try exiting out of the live and coming back on? So where you're not have no connection to the live. So then it will show that you're watching again. The question was, what do you think the future church is going to be like? And hold on, let me see. Why don't young people don't want to hear about Jesus, and they think that we're judging? So what do you think about that? And what do you think about pretty much the church in the future? What do you think about that? And do you think we're this generation is too sensitive, or do you think, what is your input on that? I'm trying to see. We could probably add her right here.
Okay, see if that'll add her.
Your viewers.
Oh, it's Kimberly Brown. It's right there.
It just says.
Oh, it doesn't.
It's probably on her end.
Yeah, it's not giving us an option to add you.
Hello, Sister Teresa, Miss Teresa.
Well, I know one thing with young people. Like when I was growing up, the church mothers were always sending us to hell. Whatever we did, we were going to hell. And these days, you can't say anything to anybody. Everybody gets offended. And younger people are like, just don't say nothing to them. We weren't even allowed to wear makeup. That's why I really don't even wear makeup now. I barely know how to put it on because they wouldn't let us wear it. They told us if we were saved, we couldn't look like the world. And now things have changed a whole lot, and it almost seems like sometimes anything goes. But I know it's not based on your outer appearance. It's based on your heart and on the inside. But I know younger people, this generation, they don't want you to say anything to them. No, well, what do you say then?
I say what I said earlier.
No, because even with you, because I raised her, I raised her kind of like how I was raised. I didn't let her wear pants to church. I didn't let her wear sleeveless shirts to church, and her dresses had to be a certain length. They wouldn't be real short or anything like that. And one day she sat in the choir stand, and her dress was a little short, and the Sister Pinker bought you a hanky. And then after that, you remember that? Every time we went to the store, she was like, oh, I got to make sure my dress is long enough so Sister Pinker don't get on me. But it kind of helped you. You think or you don't think?
I never said it didn't help me, but never mind. I got nothing to
No,
say.
go ahead and speak. You was talking, go ahead and talk. I'm not going to shut you down. just
in my defense, my dress wasn't short, but our choir stand is elevated, so the people are down and it's slanted. So I guess you could, if you're up there, you could probably see up my desk. So it wasn't like it was short, but in that position, it was because of how the church is set up. But yeah, I like to, I cover it when I'm supposed to. That's not a problem. That's not a problem with me, at least.
Because that's how I raised you.
I rest my case.
Ever since you were a little girl, so that those teachings just kind of stood with you.
Okay.
He said, I rest my case.
And I respect your case. I respect your case. I respect your case.
Sister Kimberly Brown, I still am trying to get you on camera, but it's not working. I don't know what to do here. Well, now it's calling you, but it's not working.
It's on.
I'm calling her through Messenger.
Dang.
I got you here on Messenger, but I don't know how to get you on the camera.
I'm wondering if I should log on my phone.
Let's see.
I'm on my laptop
Well,
right
Hello,
I got you this way.
Mr.
You can talk
Tommy.
this way. You can't see
No,
it real
that's
good.
not. That's
You look like a
tacky.
ghost
That's
there.
tacky.
I know.
Hey,
Hey, First Lady.
What's wrong with Peanut? No.
You could try.
We're not about to do this.
You said about who asked about
He
me?
said what? He just asked what's wrong.
Who?
Okay. All right.
Did she log off?
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Tommy and Sister
The
Kalisha.
Evangelism Department
Well,
President and
that's
First Lady. Pastor South
Yeah,
said, what's wrong with you?
It's upstairs.
How are y'all
He
doing?
said what's wrong with you?
It's almost convocation time for Kansas East jurisdiction. We were just having we started off with community choirs and preachers wearing robes to young people in this generation and church. So it's just little different dialogues, and my daughter was talking, my son was talking, but he just kind of stopped talking for the moment. But I have Sister Kimberly Brown who's trying to log in.
See how I just got on? And it says bring them on camera. I think it's for
Okay.
settings.
Okay, my daughter says she thinks it's your setting. Evangelist President Johnson, your wife, you have any comments about evangelism and the young people? This generation, preachers wearing robes, community choirs, singing, praising, dancing. When I was growing up, we didn't have praise dancing. We just had old school testimony service that would last for like 2 and 3 hours. We'd have open confessions sometimes too. And we had long tarrying service. They really don't have tarrying service that much anymore, at least that I know of. But I mean, we used to have tarrying service. And if you didn't get it, they would just tell you, if you didn't get the Holy Ghost, come back the next night. Just because you cried and you snotted, that wasn't the Holy Ghost. You just got a good blessing. They wouldn't let you by. But when you got it, you knew you had it, everybody would rejoice with you. Sister Kimberly Brown, I still don't know what is going on here. But again, she was going to talk about the choir. She was part of the Sounds of Blackness. She started the Sounds of Blackness in the Minnesota Mass Choir, Minnesota, and she has a new CD single that just came out. So I was going to bring her on the screen to talk about it. My friend First Lady Paul, she was going to talk about when we were growing up with the state choir, the Minnesota Church of God in Christ State Choir, how they kept us involved in the church by being in the choir and taking all those trips to different jurisdictions and singing and praising the Lord. And we had good role models and good examples, and it worked out all right for us. But if there's not anything else, Sister Kimberly, I'm so sorry. I don't know what the technical difficulty is. I thank you for just chiming in with me on today, and I just brought my children on with me just to get some perspective of a 18-year-old and a 20-year-old. Hello, Booker T. Jennings III. How are you doing? But, that's about it with me. Oh, James Greer. Hey, that man surely could direct a choir. He used to direct It Is Well. He's one of the... Bishop Washington. Hey, Bishop Washington. How are you doing? Minnesota Ecclesiastical Jurisdiction. Tiffany Moden says she's replying to Philip. She still hated. You talking about the choir robes or wearing black and white? Bishop Washington, I still remember when I was a little girl and y'all would be out there on Selby and Dale, my mother and you and Elder Locke and First Lady Locke. You guys would be witnessing to the drunks and praying for people and casting the devil out, and I'd just be sitting there looking at y'all like, okay. But when I would get home, I would anoint my dolls and they get saved, baptized, and everything else. But it's funny because that would be from watching you all. You guys were fearless. I mean, there was nothing that wouldn't stop you guys from going forth. Now it seems like people are kind of skeptical or hesitant to get out on the street corners because of guns and all other kind of violence that goes on these days. And James Greer, again, James Greer and Company, and your leadership and your directing the choir back in the day in Minnesota. You brought a lot of life to our jurisdiction, and I thank God for you. And Mother Brooks from New Covenant. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. I know you're testimony leader at New Covenant Church of God in Christ. Booker T. Jennings said, great, and you're right, the choir deal was awesome. It really was. It really was. And even choir rehearsal would a lot of times just turn into church service and tarrying service. We had Mother Josephine Baker with the state choir. She'd spend a lot of time tarrying with us and keep us on the altar as teenagers. They weren't going to let us get too much out of hand, and we all were receptive of it because we knew what we believed and we knew what our parents stood for. And if you didn't want to get slapped up when you got home, you knew to act right. I see D. Michelle Coles from Minneapolis. That's Deltry from Minneapolis North High. I see Elder Owen said hello. I'm about through. Anybody else have anything? I mean, if you want to talk another day, give me some topics that you'd want to just discuss and talk, and I'm down for that. You know, I'm just pretty carefree, easygoing, like to have a good time, like to laugh. I'm serious when I need to be, but for the most part, this is just my personality. What you see is what you get. Thanks, daughter. We love you. Thank God for you. Yes, Bishop Washington, we love you too. And we're praying for Mother Washington. We're praying for her. And Booker T. Jennings said, yes, we had junior and adult choirs. Yes, Sunshine Band, the Purity Choir, the Minnesota Purity Choir was really awesome too. I mean, that was me and Mita and Kim Brown, James Greer and him, that was our life. I mean, our choirs just really rocked. And we always look forward to the midnight musicals for New Year's Eve. I really miss that a lot. Like, every New Year's Eve after our watch night services, we all would go to First Church of God in Christ over in North Minneapolis, and we'd have the biggest musicals ever. And, I mean, we would have some church, and we'd get out like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then we would go eat breakfast. Those were the good old days. I really miss that. It was so much fun. Yes, Mita, we did. We had church back in the day. And Mita, I remember me, you, and Alyssa all bought our matching dresses, just different colors, to go to the musical. It was teenagers, and we'd be so excited just to go to church. We'd be so excited and couldn't wait to get there. Yes, James Greer, those were the days. I mean, we was straight up church. And I mean, we had all the good artists. A lot of them have passed on and went to sleep, but we really had a good time. Those midnight musicals, we didn't care if it was below zero, below 23 degrees. We'd have on our coats, moon boots, whatever, fur coats, and we would go to those musicals, whether we were falling in snowbanks or not, because the snow would be so high and deep. But we would go to the musical. We never, growing up in Minnesota, never let the snow and the cold stop us from going to church. Yes, those leather dresses, I remember that too. I had the black leather dress. I think, Mita, you had the royal blue, and Alyssa had the red. Kim Brown said, the motivation behind the choir seems to be missing now. There are so many other distractions. Can you push the see more button? So many other distractions for our youth. It's more difficult to keep them engaged. How do you think we can keep the youth engaged with the choirs? I mean, what do you think we can do? Because these days, a lot of youth don't want to go to church. I mean, it's like a drag to them. Like, oh, don't want to go. They don't want to participate. You want to elaborate? No? What, any of you all, what do you think we can do? Because like I said, I grew up in church all the time, and I had a good time. Most of the time, that when it came to the state choir stuff, regular service was with the long testimony service and all that was like, but the choir and all that, it really kept us going. It kept us out of a lot of trouble too. I mean, we knew we were going to church. We knew we had to act right, and we enjoyed what we were doing. But what do you think would help now? You said they need to step up, Pastor Saffel said. But step up how? How? What are y'all doing out there in California? What are your youth doing? Do you guys have youth rallies or what? Because, I mean, we're really losing, like, between 17, 21. Sometimes they don't want to go when they get that age where they want to go to the club because they think they missed out on everything, and then they don't want to come participate. What you rolling your eyes for?
Nope.
I'm talking about butter. What are you talking about?
So nobody really even be going to the club.
Right.
I'm not talking about you, but other people might go to the club. Then what do they do?
People would rather sit at home and watch TV on church than go to an actual church.
I don't even necessarily think. No, people like to go to church. We just don't like to go to certain churches.
Certain churches.
Just because we don't want to go to your church doesn't mean we don't want to go to church.
Right.
So what is this about?
Because I know a lot of young people, they love God to death and they love to go to church, but it's certain churches they just don't want to go to.
I love watching TD Jakes online, but I can watch them all for like 5 hours
straight.
straight.
That's just the hot tea.
I can watch them for 5 hours
I know
straight.
some people just don't like to hear it, but it is what it is. It's the truth.
I can watch them for 5 hours straight and not get bored at all and learn something from it and apply it to my life. Then going to a church, sitting there being dead, or not even going at all. Go to church, not even to go in, and then leave.
So what you said, young people love going to church. So what do you guys love about it? Your generation or your experience in Louisiana?
I can only speak for me and the people that surround me and the young people that I know. We like to go to church. We like to worship God. But everybody, I don't know, everybody's different though. Everybody's different. And a lot of people I know, raised in the church. Some not raised in the church, but they love God and they like going to church, but some people church they just don't want to go to, and that's something. If they don't want to go to your church, it's their own personal. It's because of certain things that they've experienced.
And we like to have church. Have church.
So we use summer camps for motivation, getting them away from the city atmosphere.
Yeah, that's
and we had church in the woods with no distraction, but cell phones weren't around them.
That's cool.
And Emily Brown says, to be honest, it's difficult to find the type of leaders that we had. It makes a difference. The leaders have to love what they do and love the youth. People know when your heart is really in it.
That church in the woods, like when your church go camping, that is really good, and I know that some churches do that. And I think that's very effective. Going to a campground and just you don't have your phone or anything like that. But even thinking about that, that means your head's on right and you probably go to your church. But that means that's a really good idea. And some people don't think like that. Some people don't think outside of the box, and that's the issue. You can't be mad that we're growing in a different direction than what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Elaborate.
Like that whole camp idea, that's a good idea. People don't think like that. Some people don't want to think like that. Think outside of the box and get mad when people don't want to go to your church.
So then you, as a 20-year-old, why don't you round up some people and make it happen?
Look, I can do my part, but I ain't got to do everybody's part.
But you can do it on your own.
People around me, we go to church. We like going to church. And we talk about God, and we can witness God here and there, but ultimately, I can't do everybody's job. I can't do everybody's job. If it's your job to lead and to lead the youth, then then do that. I mean, you're old school. I respect that. That's cool. Are you the one who talked about the camp?
The woods,
Okay, well, you're old school. That's cool. But you still got good ideas. Some people old school and ain't got no good ideas. And then when people come up with good ideas, they don't want to hear it because they younger than them or they just don't want to hear it. And so it comes to closed ears and mouths open. And usually you say mouths closed, ears open or whatever. But some people's ears are closed and their mouths are open. And that's the issue.
Sister Kimberly Brown said we must use wisdom to engage them, get to know them, and find... Oh, it just went up to the other screen.
Here, hold on.
Go back.
That's true right here.
She said, read it.
We must use wisdom to engage them, yes. Get to know them, yes. And find out what attracts them, yes. Very good point. Very good point. You need this parent support. Okay, yes. I think what they trying to say is it's all an approach. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. But I still say what I say, but that's a really good point. It is all about approach. If you come up to somebody nose in the air, like, look at this sinner.
Like they never seen before.
Look at you. Where you from? Yeah, that's out. Because my ears, I'm not listening to you no more. You just talking, and I'm not going to listen. And unfortunately, that's how it goes with other people. And probably much worse. You get tuned out. If your approach is wrong, then... if somebody approaches you about anything in general, their approach is wrong. Are you gonna listen? Not even talking about the church or God, anything in general. So if you think that you're gonna approach somebody in the wrong way and they gonna listen, you got your rabbit mind.
So what do you think about with old school and the fingernail polish and all that stuff and this generation? I gotta go there. I want to see what you got to say now.
I was raised old school.
Yes, she was.
I got a whooping for wearing lipstick. But now I'm older now, and if I like something, I'm gonna do it. So you can teach somebody. You can teach them, but they not always gonna, when they grow up older, they're not gonna always do, what they was taught.
Right.
People do have mind of their own. And, I used to wear lipstick all the time. And I mean, I outgrew it. But you gotta let people go through their phases in life. And I don't not wear lipstick anymore because somebody told me I can't. I like it still, but I mean, and I like getting my nails done. And if I want gray nails, I'm gonna wear gray nails. And that's just me. Some people, I respect other people. Wow, yeah. Wow, yeah. I respect, though. But the thing is, it's all about respect. I respect you. I respect if you old school and you don't like, you don't like wearing nail polish and nails and you don't like getting your eyebrows done. For heaven's sake, you don't like wearing that lashes. I respect you because that's you. So if the thing is, it's a respect thing. I'm gonna respect you because that's the godly thing to do. And, you can, preach to me about it. You can preach about me. And guess what? These nails still gonna be, they're not done right now, but they still gonna be done. I'ma still wear my eyelashes. And, before my hair was black, it was dyed a different color because I wanted it to be a different color. You could preach about me, but at the end of the day, see, the thing is, this is just a respect thing. I'm going to respect you if you respect me. I'm even going to respect you even if you don't respect me. But that's just me because I have a heart that is full and loving, and that's just how I am. You see me now, I look a little rough, but, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm a sweet person. Nobody's saying nothing now.
I know. Back I remember when I was 16, and some of the older ladies around me used to wear ankle bracelets. So when I was 16, I thought I was going to get an ankle bracelet. So I wore one to church, and I was so excited because some of the older ladies, like in their 20s and stuff, had one on, and state choir days, and one of the evangelists, Evangelist McIntyre, she pulled me to the side. She said, "Baby," she said, "harlots wear those." And I said, oh. So I never put an ankle bracelet on again. She scarred me for life. So when this one here was growing up, you want to tell about your ankle bracelet experience?
Oh, didn't you tell me to take it off?
I told her to take it off.
Harlots wear, that's what I was told that harlots wear them.
I gave her the teaching that I had. If it was going to identify me as something, because that's how, you know, when the older saints would say something to you in the church, you just kind of did what they said do. And so I never put another ankle bracelet on again, even though I thought they were really cute. And she didn't wear them for the longest, but as she got older, she decided to wear them. And I can't judge her or condemn her, but I did train them, raise them the best that I knew according to the Bible and a lot of the old school ways how I was brought up. I try to instill that in them, but as the generation changes, sometimes young people do too, but I feel like a lot of the teachings that I gave them will still be within them, and they'll understand it better by and by as they got older. Just even like when some of the church mothers would get up and they would tell us all this stuff when we were growing up and we were married. They would tell us how to take care of our husbands and how to take care of your pastors and how to raise your children. You know, we listened to all of that. We listened to everything that they said. And when they told us that we needed the Holy Ghost, we were hungry for the Holy Ghost. So we dared not sit in the back of the church. If we wanted the Holy Ghost, we would sit up in the front because that was considered the hot seat and we wanted to be filled. So we wanted whatever was told to us. We would just try to abide by it. But in this day and time, I mean, some people still have a heart for it, but I don't know if the mothers or whoever still feels free to talk and communicate with the younger generation like that because they're afraid of being shut down or maybe disrespected, or a pastor might get on a missionary for saying something to a young person for coming in with a sleeveless shirt. I know they say, come as you are. You got to catch a fish before you scale it. So I think it is really rude when some people do just run people out the church because they don't look like you and don't act like you, but you got to let people get saved, and you really got to let God deal with people from the inside out, and God will make any changes, and he's the one that knows a person's heart. I always say to myself, I'm so glad that man is not my judge, because if man was my judge, I would have been in hell, according to people, because everybody expects you to live just like how they live, but I have my own personal relationship with God, and every conviction that one person has may not be my conviction or somebody else's. And we ought not dislike people because a person doesn't look like you or dress like you. I think that's kind of not a good trait to have as a saint. We should be kind and love one another. If we're going to say we live by the Bible and have the fruits of the Spirit, we should have it regardless.
Mm-hmm. And, that's what you preach.
Yeah. That's just what I think.
That's the truth.
If we run too many people out the church from these nasty attitudes and these
you
titles
asking,
and positions.
Exactly, and then you asking why aren't people coming to church? No, they not coming to your church. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Like,
but
stop
it's
running
true.
them away. Don't run. When people come to your church, embrace them. Don't run them away. don't kick them out. Throw them to the wolves. And these cliques need to stop too. You know. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. It's just a conversation. It's just a dialogue.
No, it's true though. But people get upset. They want to share their opinion, but when other people want to share how what they think, it's an issue. So,
but everybody has a testimony. Everybody has a past. Some people, what do they say, got skeletons in their closet, and some still got meat on the bone. So don't judge other people if you don't want to be judged, and just be kind and let your light shine. You just be the witness. You be the example that you think that Christ has for you to be, to win souls for him, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to win souls for Christ, and we're supposed to lift up his name. We're supposed to be the example, because us, as being saints of God, we might be the only Bible that a person will read. We might be the only contact that they have with church. So, I mean, if we're not letting our light shine and they can't tell the difference between us and them, then there might be a little issue, but still we can't judge. We can pray for one another. I mean, some people will send you to hell for having a tattoo, and I know what the Bible says, but once someone gets a tattoo, you can't go tell them to take it off. I mean, just people need to worry about themselves and just make sure that your relationship is with God. Butter said, just mind your business.
People just need to mind their business.
They really do.
Because they be forgetting that they got their own business. So worried, so wrapped up in other people's lives.
Yeah, it's something. So much to pray for. That's all I gotta say. So much to pray for. we need to pray for one
If
another.
anybody want to have a chit chat with me, we can have a chit chat. I'm just saying. I mean, I love to hear other people's stories, opinions, and like I like to hear other perspectives because I know that my perspective is not the only perspective, and you know.
She used to be so quiet, and now she just talks. She says what she has to say. She doesn't hold back anymore. She grew up. She grew up on me. Can we go back to the choir? So when you sing with different choirs in Louisiana with your school, do you guys go to a lot of sanctified churches or Baptist churches? Or how do you deal with that?
I don't witness a lot of different churches singing in the Grambling State University's concert choir. You know, I've gone to Methodist churches, Baptist churches, non-denominational. Went through all of that, and it's very interesting. Interesting to say the least. Seeing some of their culture, like them. I went to a Methodist church, and we had to sing at like 2 of their services back to back. It's completely different than what I'm used to, and I mean, yeah, I was really sleepy, but it's just their culture is so different. It's very different, and so you start to see how a lot of Christianity culture plays a really big role into it. Like, you know, Catholic churches, it's all different. It's all different, and so being able to see that is just like interesting.
I remember I was like 9 years old, and there was this St. Mark's Baptist church up the street from the house, and growing up a little Church of God in Christ girl, I'm used to us hand clapping, foot stomping. You know, we just straight up have church, and I felt like their church was so quiet that one day I opened up the door and I climbed up the back of their stairs, and it was so quiet in there. And I mean, I screamed at the top of my lungs, made everybody jump and ran out of there. If I would have got caught, I would have got beat. I would have got beat. Yeah, I used to do a lot of stuff. I was one of them ones I slap you and keep it moving. But the Lord, He's helping me. He's helping me to this day. I made a video last week when I was dialoguing, driving him to work. I said, I'm working on a PhD and healing and deliverance. Prayer, healing, and deliverance. Y'all pray for me. Pray my strength.
Why y'all not talking? Y'all got anything else to say in the comments?
Y'all pray for me.
Love to hear you.
Pray my strength. Much prayer is needed. But I still like Old Testimony songs. I still like God is a good God. Have you tried Jesus? Worthy, worthy Lord. I'm still trying to adjust to praise teams. I like praise team songs too, but I guess from just growing up how I did, I like them old, everybody calls it old schools, but those are songs that just would revive my soul. When you sing them, you can really feel them because you know God is worthy. You know He's a good God. He's an awesome God. God don't need no matches. Fire by Himself. Some of those choir songs that would just take the choir in. I love those days when church is dismissed and people are still praising the Lord and tearing on the altar for the Holy Ghost. I miss them days. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Well, y'all, okay, I'd probably say goodbye like 5 or 6 times.
He wants a video chat.
Well, video
wait.
chat him.
Wait, it was taking the message. Call him from your phone.
Hello?
We have a guest here. Pastor.
But he's not on. He's not on the screen.
You know, it's a voice. He just did
a
voice.
Go ahead. I'll do your voice. Say something.
Do you mean to call?
Maybe it was an accident.
So there's a lot of comments you're not reading.
I can't see him.
Oh,
okay.
Wait, hold on.
Bring back the choir.
Wait, let's go start from the top.
Okay, so thank you for letting us know. We didn't see nothing.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go look. So, oh wow, we got a lot.
Comments you're not reading.
Okay, it wasn't popping up.
It wasn't.
Oh, look at my brother.
None of it was showing up.
From the area, not
Invite
just close
people
groups.
from the
We
area,
had
not
kids
just close.
from 3 states attending. Thank you. Good job, brother.
Thank you.
Hi, brother. Are you still on here? Okay, wait. This is a lot. Hold on, guys.
She's scrolling back down.
Okay, he said he's old school. We must engage. Okay.
We saw that one.
All right. Without the parents' support, you have nothing. I think we have lost. Okay, from Pastor Bland, he said, I think we lost a lot of people who had the heart for youth ministry instead of just doing it out of obligation. Okay. That's a good one.
Wave at your brother.
Invite people from the area, not just close groups. We had kids from 3 states. That's really, yeah.
Like tri-state.
Yeah, I like that because, a lot of people don't have opportunities like that. And, personally, I would like to do something like that,
Well,
too.
that's what we used to do. That's how I know people from all over, the Church of God in Christ and all over, because we would be everywhere. And then we meet those friends. Yeah, at the camp, church, whatever.
Somebody got to say the lead. Yes.
You have friends for a lifetime.
I like that. But the experience shared after the first few items was that's true. That's very true. They would get to know.
They
okay,
have to know why
that's
it's a sin. Respect.
I'm happy you found yourself. A lot of people from Pastor Bland. He said a lot of people focus on what you wear to the house of God instead of missing the fact that you're in the house of God. That's a good one. There you go. Okay, and then we have.
Salvation is
more than nails and makeup. It's your heart.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
The leader. Okay, that's good. And then back then we didn't have options. Our parents made the decisions and we went with it. And once involved, we began to love it. But now there are options. Parents are allow our youth to decide, and so many decide not to because they can't. So our job must be more focused on attracting a generation that knows they don't have to be involved if you really don't want to. Bottom line is we don't make them but help them want it. That's really good. That's really good. Yeah. We don't make them.
We had to go.
Them. And I had to go too.
Yeah, you did.
But I mean,
crying, whining, or not. That's how you got the Holy Ghost that one night. Because you didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to church.
That's good though. That's good though. We don't make them but help them want it, and that's big. If you find what can attract the youth, then they won't make it feel like it's an obligation, but it's something they want to do out of their hearts. And so that's really good.
Hey, Bridget. Hey, Pastor Lambert.
I don't believe that we have to compromise the teachings, but I do believe that we have to teach them and understand that not everyone knows the way. Mm-hmm. Right. Preach, right. Everyone likes you better. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm just passionate. I'm passionate. I'm not upset anymore. I'm not upset. I was getting upset. Hello, Benjamin. I was getting upset, but it all comes from being passionate about others. So say it.
So much to say now, right?
Now. Yeah, it's a lot to say now. It is very encouraging to see you and your kids together doing this. That's an encouragement to others just doing this. Hello, Pastor Cameron. Methodist Church are boring. Yeah. So the Methodist Church is very boring, but I respect them because they worship in God.
Sister Brown, no, my mom didn't play, but I enjoyed going to church, so I didn't mind. It was my siblings that didn't want to go.
I love old school songs, gospel hymns. I love it all. I also like contemporary worship as well. I'm not put in the box just to that. I love it all. But I'm a lover of music, so that's gonna be a thing.
Pastor Cameron said, tell my little friend that I want to hear him say
Peanut.
Something. He done ran away. Peanut. Pastor Cameron said he wants to hear you say something.
Free yourself.
He said hello. He done got back in bondage. He quit talking when he was being open. Then he just kind of shut down because I guess he felt like he was going to get condemned. So he stopped talking. You want to try it?
That's a prime example. He felt condemned, so he shut down. Just think about that. He was speaking up, saying an opinion or saying what he thought, and this goes back to the too sensitive both sides. He felt like he was going to get condemned, so he shut down and he walked away. That's the same way people walk out the church. The same way. So just think about that. Just think about that.
You don't want to come say hi to Pastor Cameron?
What y'all think? I like to hear y'all talk. Come on.
Our Sister Chisholm's on. Hey, First Lady Chisholm.
Hello.
Joseph Caesar. Hey.
I'll say hi, but I'm just going to do my laundry.
Okay. You bring your face here.
Say what you gotta say.
Hey.
Say what you gotta say.
I can't bend over this.
They better leave him alone. Yeah. They better leave him alone.
Be glad my son Q isn't on here. And he said they better leave him alone. He said they better leave you alone. Yeah, he's done. It's always a struggle to just get him to go now. He's like done.
Yep,
You gotta do something to get him excited about church again. Because like when he was younger, he couldn't wait till he was older so he could participate with the youth, with all the things that were going on, the youth quakes and the things that they would have around here in Kansas City. Q even cried because he wasn't old enough to participate, and then when he was old enough to participate, the youth quakes that the Kansas East Youth Department had, they loved it. And then by the time Peanut got old enough, it's like it's done, it's over with. And I think if you even try to pay him to go now, he wouldn't go. He's like, nope, not feeling it.
That's sad. That's an example. That's really sad because that's my brother. So personally, I feel because my little brother
that wanted to be a pastor.
He likes to go to he likes church, but he just it's just we all moved away. We all moved away. One of my former church members said we all moved away. And if that don't say nothing, I don't know what does. Hello. But yeah, I mean, that's so sad though when my brother don't want to go. Yeah. But he loves God and he be watching TD Jakes and he be honest. You know how if you ever go down to the plaza, they have them church folks on the side witnessing, singing. He be over there,
right there talking to him.
You know, his heart is in a good place, but he just don't want to go to certain churches. And
just need some more youth. If I think that there was more youth, that would help.
Yeah, he is awesome, and you know he's not worried about no folks. No, he definitely not. But that's just an example on how find a church that will meet your needs. Exactly, it's all about finding a church that meets your needs spiritually, being fed spiritually. Yeah.
This is awesome. Great that you're doing this.
That's the big thing, though. Searching for churches is not easy because you may think that, I think this church is good. This is good for me. And then he's like, oh, wait.
You get attacked by them dogs.
You really gotta just find. I wish he was up here with But yeah, like.
Yeah, he would love that, Pastor Cameron.
Being spiritually fed is really important because. In the natural world, if you're hungry and you're not getting fed, just think about all the things that could happen. From attitude, from hunger, starvation. When you're starving.
Feed the children.
Just think about it. If it's bad in the natural, just imagine what it's like in the spiritual. So finding a place that meets your spiritual hunger is so important. And when you find that church that... I'm sorry. When you find that church that meets your needs, then you're going to start feeling a lot better. I'll just say this. Also, this is great. Cross generations discussing church problems, and also serving notice that young people are looking for the right things to do. Keep this going. It will bless you and others. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for your input and your words of inspiration and encouragement. They were greatly appreciated.
She's gonna be on that wood stuff. I told him you're gonna be on that wood stuff, getting the young people and get together and have church in different places. We kind of talked about that in Asbury Theological Seminary the other week. Remember I was telling you? Mm-hmm. They have dinner church and different things like that to get young people involved and get young people to start coming back to church and participating where they're excited about God.
One thing that can get young people back to go to church, you gotta start small. If you feed them, they gonna come.
Well, that's y'all rambling. y'all hungry folks.
If you feed them, they're gonna come, and then they're there. They're there. They have the opportunity to worship, and then they might actually like it, and then it might actually, feed them spiritually.
That's how that church got her. They gave her a tuna fish sandwich.
No, I love
it. Corn, you went to that tuna fish church too, right down here in Louisiana.
No, he doesn't go to that church. Hey, Corn.
He's a singer.
He going to AIM.
He going to AIM?
Yeah, hey, Corn.
Revival Fire, huh?
I'm sorry I ain't called you back. I just been tired from work. Listen.
We canceled our room for AIM because these two are working. I'm trying to let them make their little summer money. So we're not going to AIM, but be at the Holy Convocation. Well, I don't know if you're going to be there. Are you coming?
Coming where?
To the Holy Convocation. Probably not. Peanut probably won't
Probably
come in
not.
there. I'll be by myself.
Speak corn. Hi, Sister
Hey,
Gibson.
how you doing? My former November tribe
Corn,
member.
corn be going.
Corn.
Nah, corn. Say
It's
something.
good
corn.
to see you on here. Hope you've been having a great summer. I know you sing a lot this past year at Grambling.
Hey! Tear some carpet up for me and aim, all right?
What do you have to say about young people in church? Because I know you grew up Kojic, Church of God in Christ. And then talk to us. I just keep trying to get off of here. I feel like a long-winded sister. You want to see if there's any more comments?
Hey, Corn.
None.
Corn. What you doing, Corn?
Well, anybody else have anything to say or another topic?
You gotta give it time. It's a lot. You gotta take time to be prototyping.
But I really think that, hey, First Lady Cameron, we could fill the churches up with young people because they are our future. So we need to do something. We need to do something to get the young people to come to church and get them on fire. No, we're not going to aim. We had just said I cancel my room.
For future topics.
Activate the notification button for future topics. You know how to do that?
What do you mean? Like, you want her to
just inbox me what you want me to do and I do it. Booker T. Jennings.
Activate the notification button for future topics. What is it?
No,
we're not going to Acorn.
No,
I feel like I know what he's talking about.
Hello, First Lady Cameron.
So you want people to receive notifications about what we're talking about for the next time?
Sure.
Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I'm a little slow sometimes.
I'm open to suggestions. Whatever you all say, hey, I'm good with it. I can work with people, but as long as you respect me. When you go live so people know, oh, okay, yeah, I did like one yesterday, last night, and I probably didn't do too much because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I was just trying this, so I didn't know what to expect. But if you all want, I will do it again.
Okay.
What's that, Butter?
So you should make a status talk about below in the comments, right? What you think you should talk about in your next live. And so then
he said, "Preach, sis."
Thank you. Thank
you.
The
etymology.
But yeah, you should make a status after this and have people comment the topics you want to talk about. Because there's a lot of things to talk about in this world, you know.
Right, and see, since I'm older, I don't know it all. So you have to be able to connect with the young people and know what it is they want. Even like some of the music and stuff they listen to, you know, you don't have to listen to it, but just know what they're listening to so you can help them get a better understanding of some of the words and things that are going on, just so they know. They need guidance. They don't know everything, even when they're 20.
We all don't know anything.
Yeah, we all don't. We all can learn from each other.
I'm okay with that. That's
right.
fine with me. Right. I love to learn. If anything, I love to learn.
She does. But I mean, we're all helpers one to another. So let's help one another. Let's lift each other up. And if someone does fall or have a shortcoming, he wants to be in the video. So click that. Push it. Push that button.
Where you at?
Approve. That's what we were trying to do with Sister Kimberly Brown.
Ooh, this is fancy. He's being
added. How long does it take to add? It still says adding. Can you hand me my Sonic cup? That's how on my water. What happened? It said adding. Oh, it says you declined. Well, we were trying to add you on. Kimberly Brown, can you find her again? Oh, her still won't let you add. Okay.
Did he not want to be added? Maybe he pushed on it.
But again, let's just lift one another up. He don't want to be on there.
All right.
Just lift one another up. Keep one another in prayer. Keep that prayer wheel turning. The clicks, bust the clicks up, because that's not going to help the young people or the older people either. It's not like, oh, you're on this side, we only can hang with each other. We're all brothers and sisters. Childish. I'm sick of clicks.
Middle school, high school, grow up.
I'll see you all next time. Okay, yeah, night. But let's stop the clicks and all that stuff. Let's all get along. If we can't get along down here, how you think we'll all make it up there? I want my name to be in the book. So if we used to be old school with Mother Webb. We'd get up. If I offended you, if I done anything to you, please forgive me. We used to just be humble and we would just get that right. Nowadays, you try to get stuff right, people act like they don't know what you're talking about or you're crazy. We would humble ourselves, and that's what we would do. We would just try to get things right. How you gonna shop in iniquity? let's get it right so we all can go higher in the Lord. How we gonna go higher if we're not on one accord? You got this division over here, this division over here. No, all that stuff needs to stop. We just all need to bring it together. Bring it together. Ain't gonna be no sides in heaven. Hello, Aaron Baker. How you doing? Good evening. Okay, I think this is probably like my 10th time saying I'm about to go. I'm signing off, you all. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for dialoguing with Dr. Gena L. Ross and my daughter.
Featuring Butter.
Yes, Butter, and Peanut disappeared, but thank you for joining us on tonight. Look, let me do my little generic sound. This just tickles me. 1 second, y'all, don't go yet. I play a lot on my phone, so here we go. Yay! Thank you all for joining us on tonight.
Comment topics below or stay tuned for the next status.
Yes, dialogue with Dr. Gena L. Ross.
Kudos.